Hi, I'm Jo Kiminade, and today I'm talking to you from the centre of Brussels in Belgium, where Uglii have had quite a large delegation come over for a postal conference. We've also got the global partners over here for a government briefing, being that the European Parliament is based here in Brussels, which is the centre of Parliament for the whole of Europe. I'm talking to John Knorr, CEO and founder of SIS Business Systems. Fresh back from Brussels we are, John, after a successful trip. Today we're here to talk about postal systems as national partners of Uglii. John, what's the benefits to postal systems? How will they work as national partners?
Joe, there's a number of benefits for postal systems. One is revenue, and postal systems at the moment generally around the world are suffering from the demise of first-class mail as a revenue source. So they need some other sources of revenue.
Sure, so email's taken a huge market.
Email's taken over a lot of that revenue.
It's been a long time since I sent a letter in the mail, I must admit.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's a very important opportunity for postal systems, that the Uglii system, they can make money out of the Uglii system. Now, the Uglii system makes money let me explain the processes of the Uglii system. The Uglii system requires businesses to come into it and register in it, and they get a whole lot of benefits for free by doing that. For example,
The businesses do. Right.
Spatial discovery is very important for all businesses, and what the Uglii system is offering is spatial discovery for every business in every economy for free.
Right.
Okay, it's like a new right.
Right.
As somebody described it to me the other day, was like a human right for business. We're saying Uglii can provide that, and that will help every business in every economy.
Sure.
Now, back to the postal systems. Postal systems are powerful, really powerful systems in relation to Uglii, because they have a relationship with every business and every consumer in the economy generally.
Yes.
Or they can achieve a relationship, so that's very powerful. And they generally got pretty well respected brands too, so that helps that relationship process. Now, the importance of that is that we require a business to come in and go through a process of getting registered in the system. The system is very much about veracity of business information. So there's a bit of care's got to be taken by both the business and the registering organisation to make sure that business is who it says it is. And postal systems can generally do that very easily and efficiently.
Sure.
So that's the first point. The second point is about the revenue. Coming back to the revenue, is that while there are say half a dozen free services for every business in the economy, there are also about 40 other services that have fees attached to them.
Right.
And for example, there's about 6 or 8 services that are relevant for every business that has fees attached to them. So what we've found with our 10 or 12 years of research with our systems is that most businesses will get around to spending some money in our system, because
eventually one of these services.
That's right, or they'll cause money to be spent in the system.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Either way, the system wins and the postal system wins as well by getting revenue out of those processes.
And the business would win as well with those services.
Of course, the business wins. Yeah,
sure.
That's right. So the relevance for the postal industry is incredibly powerful. Now, there's another phenomenon in the postal industry that we've been observing, and we've been watching and dealing with the postal industry at some levels around the world for about 10 years. So what we're very conscious of is that there seems to be a clash between postal administrators that try to close down their local post offices, and politicians that want them to stay open for social or political reasons.
Right.
Now,
and this is everywhere. This is global.
Pretty universal.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how sophisticated the economy is. There's this same contest going on between the two. Right. Now, the importance of Uglii is that we can come in and resolve this problem by making local post offices more important and making them more relevant and earning revenue so that they become sustainable and economically sustainable across the economy. So that's a really important point for postal systems to consider, but it's also one that helps their relationship with their political masters if they've still got political masters.
Sure.
Now, the other thing that we like at Uglii, we're very much about economic development, and we're very much about seeing businesses particularly in rural areas, get online exposure and to use the Uglii system to its full capacity. And postal systems can help. Let me go back a long way to when I was a kid, like a young boy. The postmaster in our town was a really important guy. He knew everything about everything.
Knew everyone.
He knew everyone. He was the centre of everything, and anything you need to be done, any dealings with the government and all these things, the post office was a really powerful place. And we're about helping to make that, reinstate that status.
So, John, the plan would be that a postal system would become a national partner, and then the post offices within that postal system would become affiliates. Is that right?
That's right. The national partner appoints the affiliate, so they just appoint their own post offices as national partners.
Rightio. And how does the commission structure work between the national partner and the affiliate?
Well, that's really between the postal system and its post offices. But where the postal system has resellers, like affiliates that are outside the postal system, or privately owned post offices, then we have a rule that they must apportion at least 20% of the revenue to that post office.
Right.
So, but that's the only way we interfere in that process.
And what portion of the commission does the national partner receive, which obviously it can then apportion out, but as a total?
About 40%.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Now, I say about because that's net of costs of transferring money and doing the things that we've got to do to get them that money. So to get the money in and get the money out. So that's why I use the term about. I wasn't being vague.
Okay. And is there any reason why this would work better in a developed country compared to an undeveloped country? What's the comparison?
No, both levels of economy. The system is very powerful for postal system because of their existing relationships. You know, they're the one organisation in an economy that can reach every business very easily and do it, you know, with minimum effort.
Sure.
Okay, and so in terms of our target, in terms of our preferred national partners, postal systems are our preferred national partners, but we won't get them all, but we may get a few.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, we've heard talk about it being a land grab to get businesses registered under affiliates. Yeah. That's obviously because there's not an infinite number of businesses out there.
That's right, and there's in every economy, the system's operating in every economy, and already we're getting registrations of businesses in those economies. So it's a very competitive environment for anybody that's being a partner with us. It's what we call, as you say, it's a land grab, and postal systems that are aggressive and proactive in this process will derive huge revenues from it, and those that sit back will miss out. Now, the reason I say miss out is because postal systems are big systems and they have lots of post offices.
Yes.
And in general, we'd say that they have the ability to provide more affiliates than we need in any economy. So there's a point, I suppose, where we'd say to the postal systems that we don't want you in. We're doing all right without you, therefore stay out.
There will be a limit to national partners and affiliates in each economy.
There is a limit to affiliates, really.
Right.
So if people go to ugliiglobal.com, and Uglii is with 2 I's, global.com, they can see their country and they can see the number of affiliates we estimate that we want in that economy.
Right.
And I think we also post in there the number of affiliates we've got in the economy. So we're being fairly open about what's happening in each economy.
Sure.
But yeah, there'll be a point where we say, look, we don't want postal systems on anymore because the affiliates that are in the system are doing well enough without the postal system.
Sure. So there is some urgency for post offices that want to get out there and be aggressive and make revenue to get in fairly quickly.
Yeah, the urgency is profound for postal systems because they're just so big and
Sure.
yeah, and you know they're the 500-pound gorilla in the
Right.
in the process. So if they're in, want to be in, or considering that they should be in, they should, flag to us pretty early in the piece that they want to be in, or they want to sort of reserve their position, and,
Right.
and we'll do that. So while they do due diligence on us.
Right, yep, sure. Because there'd be a lot of other competition from other industries and businesses, credit card companies, banks,
Absolutely, yeah.
chambers of commerce, governments, those sorts of things.
There's all sorts of people that want to get part of this pie, this revenue pie.
Sure.
And once we've got those processes going, we just won't let postal systems in.
Right.
Even though we'd prefer them to be in.
Okay.
And they'll do the job quicker for us. There's no point in bringing them in and squashing everybody out.
Sure.
Everybody else out that's doing the pioneering work.
Yep.
In an economy, it's just not fair. So the message to postal systems is, look, examine this option fairly early in the piece, and if you want to go ahead with it,
Flag your interest now.
your interest now rather than waiting
Yes.
for 2 months' time or 3
Right.
months' time when the momentum has built. Yeah.
Right, because those revenue streams are enduring, aren't they? Every time a business continues
Yep.
to stay in the system, which we assume everything's going to be escalating, then
That's the point. They're enduring commissions and they're escalating commissions. And,
Right.
and all of the modelling that we've done in economies suggests that as businesses come on board, that's an escalation in terms of the revenue of the postal system. But in addition, there will be an escalation in the services that businesses buy in the system. So you've got two factors of escalation: the number of businesses in the system, but also their behaviour in the system. And that's to do with a service-by-service basis, where more businesses are buying those services because their peers or their competitors in business are buying those services.
Right.
And they can see that. So if they're going into the Uglii system and seeing that their arch competitor has got a link to its website, then they're really forced to buy that service as well.
Sure.
So there's that element of escalation around the service. But there's also another escalation, which is the escalation that's in relation to the additional services that we're providing in the system as the systems become more advanced and we release more portions of the system. So, yeah, there's three compounding escalation factors
Right.
for postal systems revenue in the system, and they need to understand that. They need to be smart enough to work those figures out. It's not that hard to do your sums in this system.
Sure.
These are big numbers. And
Are there any calculators for this?
we
sort
can
of thing?
provide them with a calculator, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And of course they vary between economy and economy.
Yep.
It also varies. Some postal systems are locked out of doing things with us because of their legislation.
Right.
Okay. But we've already had a couple of countries where the government's flagged their intention to liberalise the legislation under which postal systems work, so they can be part of the Uglii system globally.
Right.
Because the governments understand
The opportunity for revenue.
Yeah, and that's a revenue opportunity, but it's also a political and economic development opportunity.
Right.
So the thing that's exciting for me about the postal systems is that they can be part of an economic growth process.
Sure.
Right across the economy, because the Uglii system has got benefits of increased velocity of money, greater speed in making purchasing decisions, greater intelligence in making purchasing decisions, great benefits for trade, internally, but also externally for a company, exports.
Right.
Huge benefits like that. And then there's other areas of economic areas of the system, such as competition benefits in the economy and reducing corruption. There's a lot of economic benefits in the system that are fairly easy to recognise.
Sure. When you say corruption, you're talking about corruption within a business.
Or in governments.
Yes.
Yeah, within a business. Yeah, purchasing. Corruption in purchasing is a problem in a lot of economies.
Yep.
Our systems are very competitive, so they're very transparent and they're auditable. So an auditor can go into the system and basically press a button and see what's happened and
what's been purchased
and what offers have been made and all that sort of stuff. So very powerful systems.
Very traceable.
And very powerful at the same time as being powerful for the businesses involved and reducing government costs. Because I can go into the system and make a request for offer, and the system will present all of the businesses across the world that want to do business with me, and that competitive environment ensures that input costs come down.
Sure.
Very important for governments. A lot of governments are struggling with their costs at the moment.
Yep.
But also very important for businesses, because if a business reduces its input costs, then it increases the number of people it can employ, it increases the number of the profitability,
and the amount of spending it can
the spending that it can do, the tax that it's going to pay the government, and all of those things. So these are compounding and escalating benefits that are available from the system. And to be part of the Uglii system, for a postal system, I think is just a fabulous opportunity to remain relevant and be part of an exciting process, which is what the Uglii system's about.
Now, John, the Uglii system is very powerful for export stimulation. Can you tell us a little bit how that works?
Yeah, Joe. There's two facilities that help exports. One is the Uglii Brands facility, and that's operating now in every economy. So that's there and operating. That allows a brand-owning business in an economy to list in its own economy, and there's a facility for the brand to also do what we call a flag listing, which is allowing it to be seen in another economy. So if it's got a product or service that it wants to export, it can list in every other economy actually.
Sure.
Very affordably for a year. So it's $10 a year, so it's very, very affordable.
Okay.
And that lets it be seen by people that want to buy the product or service that it sells. So it's not a general advertising thing. It's very, very focused.
Sure.
Because our system has got 700,000 definitions of products and services. Okay, and that process allows a brand or trademark to list itself under the appropriate products and services that it provides in its own economy, and then do a flag listing into another economy into which it may want to export. Very powerful system. The second part of the system is the marketplace systems, which we'll bring out in about 6 months' time, where a business anywhere in the world or a government anywhere in the world can request offers for the products or services that it wants, and any supplier can make an offer to that business or government to supply to that buyer. Now, the importance of that is the cost of making an offer is $1 in the advanced economies and significantly less in the developing economies. So as tools for market penetration into existing markets or new markets, whatever it may be, the system is profoundly powerful. It's really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Now, the importance for postal systems, of course, is that they will make money out of those processes, but also they're seen as being the engine by which Uglii and the postal system being seen as the engine by which businesses in their economy are getting to be able to market very affordably into other economies. So, there's prestige and power and all sorts of benefits there.
Very positive.
Commercial, for the postal system that they shouldn't ignore. It's profoundly important for the postal system.
Sure. But
once again, they need to act fairly quickly because the systems are out there in their economies, and already we've only, at the time of doing this discussion, we're only a couple of weeks into the systems being out there, but in a lot of economies we're getting real traction already. So So they're always running the risk of being cut out of the whole process.
Now, Uglii have appointed a global partner, Postal,
Yep.
specifically to look after postal systems.
Yeah, only to look after postal systems.
Right.
And it's out there to educate postal systems about what we're doing and why they should be part of
And
what
would
we're doing.
obviously, as a global partner, assist
Absolutely.
the postal system as a national partner.
Yeah, it's run by experts and in the postal system, and therefore should be capable of well and truly getting across those messages to postal systems and governments too. So there's often two factors here. One
Sure.
is the economic factor and the political factor, and the other one is the management thing by the postal system.
Sure.
But what we're finding is that governments are pretty smarter than we thought they were.
Right.
They're seeing the benefits to their economies of the Uglii system, and
Sure.
we're increasingly dealing with governments and talking to them, and the feedback that we're getting is very, very positive about the benefits. So postal systems can be in it or they can stay out of it, but I think it would be a pity for postal systems that could be in it that miss out on being with Uglii, because the systems, the processes are very, very, very powerful.
Obviously, and the revenue is the key there.
Revenue's huge, but also relevance and helping their economies grow and
Sure.
being a dynamic part of the economy again. I think
Okay.
that's very important.
And just reiterating, there is some urgency there because there's a limit of affiliates that Uglii will allow in an economy.
It's a little bit uncomfortable that we have to, sort of say, look, you can't come in because you're too big, and we've got
Enough.
relationships, and there's people out there working and doing the job already.
All
So there is a facility that postal systems can basically, if they tell us that they're going to come into the system, we'll back off on recruiting national partners and affiliates in the
Right.
system to allow them to
Okay.
get established, do their due diligence, and get themselves sorted out.
Sure.
But in theory, they can do that very quickly through our processes. The Uglii system has got facilities that allow them to, for example, register all of their affiliates, their post offices, in the system from a spreadsheet.
Right.
Okay, and the system will even build a web page and embed the system, the Uglii system, into that web page for the post office. And the postal system can have its own branding there and all of its
Right.
protected brand through that process, but it's all automated, so they can roll it out very quickly.
And just to be clear, there is no cost to the postal system
No.
or any of the post offices as affiliates, is it? All
No.
they need is a website.
All they need is the intention and a website, and we'll even build them the individual website for each of those individual post offices. So if they've got 5,000 post offices, our system will build them one for each of those. Now that's important because our billing systems know which website a business registered through, and it apportions
yes.
revenue to that affiliate based on...
Sure, so if there's a commission come through one particular post office or a purchase via a registration that was made at that post office, it's that post office that will get the commission.
Well,
Right.
it depends on how the apportionment between the postal system and the post office has been
Sure.
arranged by the postal system, but the system will pay the revenues to those separate entities, or it'll pay it as one to the postal system.
Right.
There's also a facility in there for what we call sub-affiliates. So if the postal system is really aggressive and it wants to reward its own staff in the post offices for bringing businesses in, they can do that.
Right.
And the system will tell the postal system to pay this guy some extra rewards because he's caused the postal system to get some extra rewards. So our systems are very sophisticated, and they're there to help the postal industry become more relevant and make more money and be an exciting part of their economies. And so, look, it's a very exciting thing. We've spent a lot of time making our systems relevant for the postal industry.
Right.
A lot of time, a lot of effort, many millions of dollars doing that. So we're excited about it, and we hope the postal industry is too.
Okay, thanks, John. So just finally, Postpoly, is it postpoly.com?
Yeah, postpoly.com,
Yep.
or they can come to uglii.com and navigate their way through to the postal industry information. But the importance now, I think, is now that the systems are operating in every economy, is to flag their intentions.
Sure.
With us. That's the urgent thing for the postal industry. They need to let us know what their intentions are.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thanks,
John.
Joe. Pleasure. Thank you.